Hey guys, it's Ping. Thanks for tuning in to another week of At Ping here at VitalMX. Got a few questions here. Let's get started. First one comes from Mike N. He says, first of all, I'm a big fan for a lot of years. I really dig the things you've done in the sport and the Whiskey Throttle show. I do miss GL though. Me too. First question I have is about the privateers and lower level teams and riders and their health insurance situation. I'm 51 with a retirement type job that I've had for 26 years. If I go get surgery for an old knee injury or anything else, it costs me thousands of dollars out of pocket just to meet deductibles. That is with what is considered very good insurance. I cannot figure out for the life of me how these dudes can pay for all these procedures, treatments, and PT with little to no money coming in. It's mind-blowing. If you have any insight on this, I'd love to hear it. Well, not a ton of insight, just to say that it's a travesty. And in fact, there's riders that don't have insurance. And man, that's just a real problem. You know, whether you're just a local rider, weekend warrior, if you're riding a dirt bike, you've got to have some insurance, man. You got to go get at least the catastrophic stuff. You know, these guys can get insurance. It's just expensive. And, you know, back in my day, I remember you kind of have to figure out how to work the system. So when I would have a surgery, you have the hospital bills show up, and then the anesthesiologist sends you a bill, and then, you know, they send you a bill for, you know, the oxygen they used, and it's just, the bills just kept coming and coming and coming. That was the frustrating part. So I would just stop paying for a while and let them stack up until they were kind of about to send me to collection. And then I'd call and I would barter with them. I would just say, look, or haggle with them. I'd say, you know, this is outrageous. You guys are charging me this, and this. I can pay this much. And most of the times they would come to an agreement with me. It would save me some money, and I'd, you know, pay the bills. So it's a pain in the butt, and it's our system is not great for sure. You know, and those that argue for universal health care for everybody, I don't know if that's the right answer or not. We're going to pay for it one way or another, because the folks that don't buy insurance are still going to get treatment at a hospital like they do now. And it's just a sketchy deal. But if you're riding, you have to have insurance. It's just the bottom line. If you can't afford to get health insurance, you shouldn't be riding a dirt bike. So that's my spiel there. He says, my second question involves the guys that everyone is scared of on the track. I come from a neighborhood where bark doesn't mean much if you don't have a bite. And guys like Justin Barcia and Jason Anderson that are 5'0" and 145 pounds scaring everyone is unbelievable to me. I promise you they would only do that one time to me. There would be hell to pay in the parking lot. It just seems crazy that some of these guys get these reputations and it's very obvious that they could not do jack squat off the track. Why are there not more regulators in this sport? I know there have been guys like Weston Pike and a few others, but for the most part, for such a tough sport, there are a lot of real sissies outside of the track. Thanks for taking my questions. I'm curious why you think they're sissies. Have you fought any of these guys before? You know, you don't have to be 6'2" and jacked full of roids to know how to take care of yourself. And I think guys that are tough enough to do this sport can handle their business off the track if it gets to that. Might not be conventional. I'd quickly grab a tire iron and beat your head in if you started messing with me. So if we're gonna just go old school, old timey boxing style and take punch for punch, who knows? But I don't have to fight clean. And you know, you jack with me, it's gonna be a problem. So I just wouldn't jump to the conclusion that these guys are sissies because they're not big meatheads. But you know, mess around and find out, I suppose. All right, second question. Hey Ping, great job answering unique questions. It would be great to be able to sit on my bike and be flat-footed. I'm 5'9". My questions are, if I purchased a set of forks and shocks from a newer lowered Husky, will they fit my 2018 KTM 350 SXF, and would it mess up my bike's geometry? I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to check with your local dealer, make sure that all the fitment would match up. But honestly, I don't know that that's your best bet here. I don't know why you want to be flat-footed, why that's important to you. I mean, as long as at 5'9", I can't imagine you're having trouble touching the ground. But there's better fixes if you want to get a lower feel. Second part of your question is, would it be better to have my suspension lowered, currently Creft Moto modified, and cut my seat? And 3, is it worth the trouble? I would say in general, unless you're having some major issue, I wouldn't start messing with it. Stock is best. Add a little bit more sag. You could maybe slide the forks up and the clamps a touch just to drop you down a little bit. Open up the high-speed compression in the back. That'll help the back settle a little. That'll sit you a little lower. See if that helps. If that doesn't work, I always am a big proponent of trying to bring the top of the bike down. Because anytime you lower suspension or drop the whole bike down, now you're messing with clearance issues. So whether you're going through a rut, that thing's gonna drag harder and drag easier. If you're trying to go over logs, if you're an off-road guy, again, you lose clearance, and every little bit counts in those kind of situations. So try to cut the seat. This is the easiest thing to do, or hit up a seat company like Seat Concepts. They can build you a custom seat. If you say, hey, I'd like it to be, 5 or 10 mil lower all the way across, they can build you something like that. That's your best bet. That's a bolt-on product. It fixes the situation. It doesn't mess with the geometry or the feel of your chassis. So that's what I would say to do if you're dead set on doing that. So thanks for the question, Matt. Hope that helps. That's Matt Kurtz. And finally, we got one more. It says, hey, Ping, thanks for getting those videos out there of all our past and current heroes of the sport. The Lawrence brothers interview was amazing and really got me thinking about nutrition and testing. I have unfortunately been injured more times than I can bear to remember, including concussions, shoulder injuries, and whatnot, and do not seem to be recovering like I used to. Yep, getting old sucks. Yes, age is catching up, but what are some of the testing programs that the pros are using? Hunter spoke of figuring some things out nutritionally, and same with Roxon. What are some of the ways that us mere mortals can get in on this action to be our best? This is from Jamie F. So Jamie, I would recommend this to anybody. You don't have to be an athlete or a motocross guy. You should be getting blood work at least every couple of years. I'm a big believer in that. So, and the more complex of a panel you can get, the better. So go to a doctor you trust, which those are becoming harder and harder to find, and talk to them about what they can order. But a complete hormone panel is a must. Any guy over 40, their testosterone's likely in the tank. If you are a hardworking person, you work in a stressful environment, I guarantee you it's not where it needs to be. If you can get your cortisol levels checked, that's another great idea, because that's a marker for stress and other issues in the body. It has a big effect on weight gain. And then do an allergen test. So they can test you for foods, environmental allergies, all kinds of different stuff, and you'll learn the things that your body doesn't like. Last time I had one done, I was allergic to casein protein, and milk and egg yolks. And I've been eating and drinking all that stuff for a long time. So it doesn't have to be. It's like you can have an allergy to something. It doesn't mean it sends you into anaphylactic shock or your face swells up. It's just causing systemic inflammation in your body, and if you get off of it, you will feel better. And that goes for your joints, and just your general sense of well-being will be better. So the most complex you can get, that's the answer to the question. Go in and ask your doctor for that. And depending on where you go, they're not always super cheap, but they're worth it. So that's my recommendation there. And if you need more info, you can go over to Coach Rob Beams is a great resource for that. If you get over to his website, he's got a lot of information about that. He was training to be an Olympian before a car accident derailed that, but he's a really, really sharp, properly educated guy when it comes to this stuff. So he would be a great resource there if you have more questions. So thank you everybody for the questions. I appreciate it. Hope you guys had a great week. Enjoy your weekend. See you next time.